all man in business. So tell you people the way you like. On a member say, we all not safe till we all learn safe.
soo bëggee jot xaalis bàyyeekoo UK Europe USA Canada Switzerland ak àddina wërngal képp Supersonix Money Transfer ñu ngi ci ànd ak yéen ak yónneekaay xaalis bu gën a màgg ci Gambia mën nga jot xaalis fépp fi nga ne bàyyeekoo kaatong ba koy na te doo ci am benn jafe-jafe waaw mën nga jot xaalis bàyyeekoo ci sa ay mbokka ak am di jàmma nekk ci UK Europe US Canada Switzerland ak àddina wërngal képp ak suñu yónneekaay xaalis bu màgg bi nga xam ne dafa wóor gaaw te noppale fii si biir Gambia Supersonix Money Transfer ñu ngi ci ñetti fukk ak ñeent dëkk si biir Afrika ngir jox leen melowaay yu gën si jotum xaalis bi nga xam ne kenn du ko laam-laamee saytu leen ñu si Google Play Store wala App Store ngir mun a bindu si suñ app bii di Supersonix Money Transfer app ndax ngeen mun a bànneexu si suñ money transfer services yi ay mbégte rek la ak Supersonix.
asalaamaaleykum mbokk ñuy nekk di seetaan Gambian Talents TV la rek ñu ñëwaat fii toggalal leen fi pour ñu wax ak askan bi su waarum voter registration kon démba nag toog nañ fi ñu wax mbiri diggante Adama Barrow ak lawyer Ousainou Darboe, which was a very interesting topic and a lot of you contributed. Waaye wax nañ leen ne tey tam dinañ leen isil topic boo xam ne it is interesting because nit yu bëri ñu ngi ko doon séentu te tey rek man nekkuma si studio bi kese. I am here with a media consultant who's familiar to most of you viewers because nekk na koo xam ne moom si wàllum wax si kaddu askan bi la taxawal ba pare moom mu ngi represent Open Society Forum for the Gambia tam am naa fii nii tam suman benn naataanga ku ñoo ooyee Maymuna Jaaji moom tamit dina fi nekk tey si biir studio bi waaye balaa ñoo start rek dama bàyyi first Flex mu introduce boppam and then Maymuna mu start. Flex, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very grateful. My name is Yusuf Taylor. Ñu bari ñu ma xamee Flex Dan. My most commonly known name. Working with the Open Society Forum the Gambia as the media consultant on this voters sensitization campaign. Starting nañ ko, launch nañ ko depuis February, and now obviously ñun yëpp xam neen there have been so many delays on this voters registration. You could delay on one time, postpone. But now start neen, def neen 1 week. So from nekani, you see, I think the 11th day right now. So after saying them dal nanka.
Wa ñu bay Maymuna tamit mu nuyu askan bi.
jërëjëf Aïssa jërëjëf Flex asalaamaaleykum mbokk yi baaxel Gambian Talents TV di leen nuyu di leen dalalaat ci seen favorite daily show bi nga xam ne ñu ngi ko ooxee biir Gambia show bi nga xam ne from Monday to Thursday la leen ñëwal ñuy isi most of the issues yi nga xam ne moo nekk affect the society si jamono biñ toll ni xam ne nañu si voter registration nit ñaa ngi génn pour dem uti loolu di voters card tey nag loolu la ñoo waxtaanee démb ni ko Aïssatu waxee waxtaaneen ak askan mi ubbi neen line si ma call leen jox leen seen contribution kon ñu leen a appreciate bu baax a baax kon di leen wax ne tey tamit dinañ ubbi line si tamit ngeen call ñu waxtaan ngeen wax ñu seen xalaat ak seen gis-gis parce que doomi aadama mutut so ñu leen a jaajëfal bu baax di leen wax ne biir Gambia show la ca Gambian Talents TV ñoo leen teewal fii di leen waxtaan ak askan bi.
Well, thank you very much Maymuna for that. Yusuf, let's start with what's your assessment since the voter registration has started?
So depuis voters registration room start, gis nañ ne a lot of issues jóg na. Am nañ some so far the main assessment that we can definitely draw moo nekk am nañ over 1,000. I don't check the number of. I mean, quite a significant number of voters. 190,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
190,000. Lulu, for 1 week, is quite significant because of so holy Lulu. Multiply by 6 weeks. Dinga gisne dinen wara reach at least 1.15 million, according to some calculations. So dinga gisne they are on track. IEC is, according to the calculations UNDEF, gisne su guy maintaining this current pace of registering over at least 190,000 registered voters every week. In 6 weeks, dinen muna achieve over 1.1 million Gambians. So just with regards to number of voters, certainly I think IEC is on track. But am nañ lots of issues yoo xam ne war nañ ko waxtaan tamit gis nañ ne machines yi at the beginning nekkoon na problem foog naa ne léegi the machines is less of a problem gis nañ ne tamit there's the issue of voters attestation issuance of attestation loolu tamit beneen issue la so lot of different issues ñu ngi come up gis nañ some people ñu ne suspected minors ñu ngi register ak non-Gambians, suspected non-Gambians. So there's so many issues yoo xam ne over this voters registration period come up now. So war nañ ko waxtaan daal. Yeah, definitely.
Suñ waxee voter registration, who are the people eligible to vote or to have this voters card?
So first thing, according to the IEC, then there's been a press conference on Friday, day before you start. Man for one, 28 Fridays is an IEC headquarters. So I was there, and according to the IEC, you must be a Gambian. Fog nit ki nek a Gambian, point one, first. But fog nit ki nek over 18, at least. War nga nek over 18 by 4th of December 2021. Not ne war nga am 18 legi. So sa birthday, sa birthday is 4th December 2021. Sing I am 18, yow mun nga register.
Right.
Wow. So so nekute Gambian mom warlo jox voters card. So amute 18 years, te nekulo Gambian tamit warlo jox voters card. So neke Gambian and you are less than 18 before on the 4th December 2021 tamit warlo jox voters card. So IEC lola electoral laws bi. So buge ham more mun nga dem si electoral act bi 1996 section 12 binda nañ ko fa section 1211 here is very clear.
I think li nekk na loo xam ne I think media houses or media personnel or those that are working with the IEC should educate the voters or the electorates with regards to ku wara am vote, ku wara ñaka wara am vote, because we know that a lot of chaos, a lot of things are happening with around this voter registration, both in the combos and the rural areas.
Indeed.
So like you're so very emphasize on people, non-Gambians, to stay away from swing voter registration and our politics. What would it be?
Yeah, definitely. Lulu didn't encourage because of lobby. Amna. Lobby is so clear. The non-Gambians shouldn't be part of the Gambian elections, and that's only fair because benanit yow do muna nekk citizen ba pare nga participate si ben elections bo xamné warlo fa you're not a citizen.
Right.
And then secondly mun nga dem sa other country of origin nga participate fofu nonu tamit, so it's like ya ngi tek sa tanka si ñaari here fo xamné warlo def lu. So lolu moy first point. Ba pare second point mo nek Fognani, there have been a lot of it is mostly Simande. I haven't seen a lot of evidence proving that non-Gambians are actually voting in our elections. So, Lulu, as long as amun evidence, it's kind of difficult for you door the label nit di wane. Then wanna collect information bobu. I think you as observers ñu fa nekk then wanna highlight, you take note. Lun suspect, you take note of that. Of anybody that we feel that are non-Gambian, because of the process.
Right.
Yeah, the process. After the revising courts or them basic revising courts, parent whole process like end of 11 July is over. So voter register bobu no then ko wara yobu si revising courts. Fofu yo munga ko challenge munga ne diw ki Mr. X, Mr. Y or Miss X, Miss Y. This name du Gambia. This name he's underage. So lolu yep revising courts didn't ko review. Wante nekut ñun sun job pour ñu stop anybody. Lolu mom war nañ ko avoid because of nit ki mën na nek ne mu laka yena façon olof sa nga fogg ne mom Senegalese la te Gambian la dafa nek ne na fofu la yaru.
Yeah.
So I think so we have to really temper it. But then wanna be very vigilant for you take note of any of those sort of wrongdoings. ñu make sure ñu follow process bi ñu follow procedure bi ñu dem si revising court si ñu try pour make sure ne anybody koo xam ne warut a nekk foofu noonu du Gambian amul 18 years ñu génnee ko si revising court si def seen liggéey ñu génnee ko si voters register bi.
ok waaw jërëjëf mbokk yi balaa maa bàyyi rek may mun a tamit mu laajte question dama naa fàttaliku we will still be open the line soon and then the number to call is 788-366 788-366. You can also call and contribute on the show because xam nañ ne soo gisee ñu toog fii tey it's you guys are the reason why we are sitting here today because xam nañ ne yéen a judee seetaan xam nañ ne yéen ay dem the same people will go out there and vote te dañ bëgg a soo leen dem vote ngeen vote for the right candidates dañ bëgg a ngeen vote for the right leaders ñoo xam ne da ngeen foog ne have all the qualities to represent the people so ma fa ne loolu moo gën a important.
Yeah, so with regards to yow nga nekk a media consultant for the Open Society Forum lan nga am pour wax to most of the people because most of the people believe nañ ne to take part in election is not necessary because dañ dee wax ne dangaa saanal nit ki karta mu dem si office bi lu moo tal mooy boppam rek la moo tal and his or her family but I believe ne to take part in elections is a civic right. doon na loo xam ne as a good citizen yow bu nangu kenn mu wax la demal nga jóg nga uti voters card pour nga dem nga saani karta so diñ bugg a askan bi ñu wax ñi ñi ne nañ jóg ñu dem ñu saani ji karta because wax bi bëri na tey kii dafa jóg wax lii ak lii indi so in order for us to make the changes ñun ñëpp ñoo war a jël the responsibility pour ñu gis ne ñun ñëpp war nañoo jóg ñu dem uti voters card pour comme December 4 kenn du la forcer yow yaa xam yow kenn yaay nekk si biir néeg bi nga dugg sànni sa karta soo génnee doo wax nit ki ne fii ak fii laa sànni yow rek ak yàlla yaa xam foo sànni sa karta so I think it's high time pour nit ñi ñu bàyyi loolu toog di wax ne sànni karta amul benn njëriñ nit ki danga koo sànnal mu dem foofu pour personal génnam loolu doona fu mu nekk ne si jamono boobu weesu neen foofu daal so nit ñi lu nga am pour wax nit ñi pour ñu mun a bàyyi seen xel si loolu di wax ne voter register dem di sànni karta amul benn njëriñ because most of the people day am neen belief boobu noonu
waaw nit yi ñu ngi wax loolu ndik tamit blame ma leen lu tax gars yi di wax loolu te understand naa seen concerns a lot of Gambians maybe then disappointed ne politics worked out nu ko gars yi don't expect.
Yeah, they don't have hope again.
amun hope si politicians maybe or politics
right.
because am na benn statistics bu génnoon mu doon highlight trust for the media, trust for politicians ak yooyu noonu so all of those highlight politicians are very low trust mu ngi low so xam naa ne most of the Gambians that are concerned that mu foofu la gars yi di jóge but gis nañ ne am na some things which are happening in Gambia yoo xam ne wone na ne having the right type of leaders mun nañoo create more development si dëkk gis nañ for example some of the accountability lu National Assembly bi di def ñu ngi try pour wone oversight si executive bi pour make sure ne ñu def lu mu war a def loolu noonu yëpp mun nañ ko only way pour ñu strengthen ko mooy pour ñu pick leaders yoo xam ne nit si suñ gox yoo xam ne mun nañ ñëw represent te yow soo amutee sa karta doo mën a def loolu so sa karta mooy sa first tool pour nga mun a ne waaw léegi we are making a little bit of progress but how can we make better wow te maa ngi bëgg a just drop my message specifically to the youths
exactly
gis nga
yesterday I was emphasizing that
yeah loolu dafa important trop every generation am na decision pour make li nga gis ne generation before us had their decision to make then to vote so léegi it's our generation and all the voters because of it's not just our generation who is voting but a lot of we know that the population is we have a lot of young Gambians so young Gambians yi den war a xool yi ñu gis ne this is definitely something that loo xam ne seen future because ñoom suñoo vote nekk just for the next 5 years they are voting for the future generation of Gambians also to come so suñu xale yi tamit suñu sànnee suñu karta pour ñun rek nga sànnee suñu karta pour xale yi yëpp
ak seen ëllëg
ñu said tuuti wala let's go back a bit with regards to the whole when the 2016 coalition government we are doing their presidential campaign and everything, there are a lot of promises that they made, and then some of them are still yet to be fulfilled. One of those is with regards to the election reforms that people like Solo Sandeng, Famata Jawara went out, to protest, and it could not still happen. But the 2016 government came and said, we promised you guys for election reforms when we are elected in 2016. But still, the same laws that were there are still the same laws there. What happened?
That's a very important question. The electoral laws specifically are one of those which were promised. We all know Solo Sendeng died and suffered for change in our electoral laws when he went out there to protest. But I've been following that bill, the same bill, the electoral bill. So it's at the National Assembly, table Nenkoba Pare, and now it's at the committee stage. National Assembly bi ñu ko debate. Dama day ñew ci sen sitting si su gaay di debate li. So, and I feel that very soon we are expecting that the National Assembly will pass that law because of lutama wax lolu du law bobu rek yaangi wax mi promises ak reforms. Constitutional change tamit was one of them. There was supposed to be a new constitution. Constitution bobu non also impact pour ensure ñu am 50+1. Yeah, and the elections law bi ak the amut 50+1. 50+1 bi is in the constitution. So di nga gis ne 50+1 tamit mung fa. So these are all the important issues yoo xam ne definitely waroon na nekk si we should have been part of the reform and waroon nañoo am new constitution so that dinañ doon mun a am new elections law tamit. But it's hopeful that this elections law will come through soon. The IEC.
But Gambians are disappointed already.
Of course, Constitution B, for example.
They're disappointed already.
Yeah, Constitution B is one main area of disappointment, definitely. And this is the reason why Gambians should make sure that they put in the right type of leaders. You help to make sure that those reforms and those changes they promise will come in and they can be implemented. Yeah, definitely it's a cause for concern for most of civil society that there is not a new constitution among 50+1. Because 50+1 that's important. Direct torop askan. 50+1 more they keep Dikabi together. 50+1 lum mean. If you look at the last elections, the President Adama Barrow won with less than 50%. Yeah. So that 50% is representative of what? That amount that he won that is actually the number of voters who decided to turn up to vote. That's not all the registered voters, because of the voter turnout, and the voter turnout was a good voter turnout, above 60 around. So there was almost mean you have about 60% of the electorates who are registered voters, and that's 800,000. 60% of that have cast a vote. And out of all of those, 30% actually voted for the president. So that means that the other rest of the electorates who voted didn't actually vote for the executive then. And that means that the country is much harder to bring the country together. You see, so that's why 50+1 is important. Not with regards to who is elected. I'm not really concerned about that, but more as to how the country can be together, so that the next leader doesn't spend 5 years
or more,
just trying to appease the rest of the 70% that didn't vote for them. Because those people are going to be trying to show that no, you shouldn't have been here. It's politics. But these are the reforms. If we have it in our law books, one, it will bring the people closer together. The executive or the president who is voted in will be able to say, I have the mandate of the Gambian people. You know, I have the mandate of the Gambian people, and I will be able to run for another 5 years. And I think that would really, really, really help.
Now, a lot of people also say that Sogi say IEC, probably it might be based on selfish interest. You know, because I'm the new one. There is an executive member in the executives of NPP and also working with the IEC. So it could also be as a result of you know, selfish interest. A lot of people said that they already lose hope on the side of IEC because the IEC that we know that stood by the people until Jambe went for exile, it's not the same IEC that they are seeing now. So what's your reaction?
I think, you know, it sounds like a lot of speculation. I know that there was a point in time when there was an attempt to put somebody who they allege was NPP executive member into the IEC, the vice chairperson role, and that didn't happen. So besides that, except proof can be brought to, you know, strengthen that. But the IEC, from the statistics and what we've seen, they're on track for now. They're currently on track to hit their target. And I think it would be a bit, if we can bring evidence, definitely, to prove that, yeah, I'm sure people will be able to take it up. And then certainly it could be an issue that could be addressed. But I have confidence in the IEC so far, especially from the first week. And I anticipate that the machines, the more people, the people at the registration centers are used to the machines, the faster it should be. So 190,000, I'm expecting more. I'm expecting 200,000 voters in this week coming, because I'm expecting that the machine problems will have been reduced, and then they'll be able to use the machines a lot more. So I think the IEC is on track. And if we follow the process, which is to make sure that anybody we feel is not ineligible, and those are the most important things. You see,
we need to be vigilant.
We need to be vigilant. You know, sometimes it's mistakes. Let's not always feel that somebody is trying to, you know, do a nefarious activity. Oftentimes, possibly that's true. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that that's never happened, but except if it is proved. Like for me, that's how I work. If I can prove something, then I can, you know, really call for it to be addressed. But if it's not been proved yet, it's a bit difficult to, you know, hold the IEC accountable to something which they are, you know, haven't been able to prove. But so far, so good. We hope that things can improve, certainly.
Amazing. Just to remind you viewers that you're still watching the Birr Gambia show live in our studios on Gambian Talents TV, and today our guest is Yusuf Flex Dan, commonly known to many as Flex. Now let's talk about minors being registered as claims, because like we're still there is no much evidence on that, but there are claims that minors are being registered for the upcoming presidential elections. So how did you see?
Yes, I saw those pictures on the social media purporting to be minors. The first thing that I would like to highlight is that as a media practitioner and somebody who abides by the GPU code of conduct, we shouldn't be showing minors their faces on the media. We can show those pictures and blur their faces, or try to get a shot from the back of those young people. So that's the first thing I would say. For us that are in the media, we should be careful to not expose these young people, even though, because these young people, if they are being, you know, involved in these activities, they don't have much of an idea about it. They are just being, you know, sort of rallied into do some of these things, which is a bit unfortunate. Now, those pictures that I saw were worrying, certainly. If at all it is true that those are actually minors, then that's something which needs to be looked at. I hope that the party representatives there were taking notes of who these purported minors are, so that they can look into them. If at all they can be purged. This is why I highlight the process. I'm not revising courts. Voter register bi su pare dafa dem fofu nonu. Su demé ci revising courts. Yo so amé sa concerns as party support. Excuse me. As a concerned citizen sir. As a party supporter. You know, or party representative ku nekk di observe binda nga sa notes gis na ne diw sangam du Gambian wala diw sangam agut 18. Take note of nit bobu nonu turam. So mune am evidence nga jël ko nga submit ko to the revising court. You see. So definitely pictures you know you nekk di circulate is a cause for concern. You know, already caused no doubts in people's minds. Because seeing those young people, those people look very young. Then young be après ñu ngi talk fofu nonu. You know, ñu ngi melni comme xamul sa lu xew.
Lu xew dañ manam dafa melni comme dañ leen jël tek fofu rek. Wax leen ne kay leen ñu tok. Ñu ñew natal leen.
Yeah, so and I don't think that is correct.
And also lan mo nekk di consequences comme as a minor ñu dem be jappala ci lan what are some of the consequences yi nga xamne yoy nga face.
Yeah, I think the IEC will be able to clarify
that.
The Electoral Act, I know at one point the IEC was talking about some sort of penalty. You know, I don't know what exactly the penalty is, but I don't want to believe that those young minors will be held to account for that because they have been put there by somebody.
Yes, net mo len fay because xalé duñu am xalat bu pour jog rek wax ne xaram ma dem fele fu gaay nek defar voters card pour ma dem outé voters card maybe nit mo len ni wax ne kalem ñu dem ma defaral len voters card pour ngeen mëna take part in elections.
Wa fugulo ne tam xalé yoy no sen parents bi
have a role to play.
Thank you. That's where I was getting to. I was just
you're taking minors to police stations to get registered. You're age. What are you telling us?
Parents should play a vital role in this. In this case, the voter registration on. And I see as a responsible parent, wanga o sahale na teko. Wakone process bi bu nekk di dem yo amul ci ben soxla in as much as dugal nga lolu ci xeli xale bi fokk ma di xale bi dina am xel bo pour dem fofu ci voter registration bi pour dal di take part. So parents also have a role to play when it comes to sensitizing their children say voter registration bi tamit.
Yes. Fofu la don dem I was just getting there because as a minor you are under the responsibility of your parents, right. Or guardian, because of Yena Hale Amun parents.
Yeah.
So guardian and maybe like adopted person. So, but that whoever the guardian is the responsible person for that minor. So I don't know what the consequences or the law says, but certainly I would assume that those parents or those elders should have some sort of responsibility with regards to ensuring that their children are not participating illegally. And I would advise the family, the parents, certainly. I would tell them not to say that you don't have any role to play in this, but to remind them that if you are under, once you get 18, that's when you should go for your voter's card. In a way, soon defe lulu, a lot of young people soon age 18 rek dinen prepare for them, and don't discourage Gambians. You are young. Participate. So it's a two-way thing, but certainly do not encourage parents new by hell because of you don't want to have put your minor, your child, or your involve them into something that is going to cause a problem for them. So, but definitely it's a cause for concern. I don't know what constituency was that happening in. Some people, some of the posts I saw in Niamina. I don't know how true that is, but it's definitely a cause for concern. Hopefully, this week we will see less of it. But Tamit, I will let you come in. But when it comes to foreigners, I saw that the Standard newspaper wrote something about non-Gambians participating in the Gambian elections, and then they were trying to get voters' card, and then they were actually apprehended by the security officers. So Lulu did not send message to the others who were thinking of something like that to make sure that they would not be participating in elections that they are not eligible to do.
waaw di leen fàttali mbokk yi mun ngeen a call si 7888366 7888366 yéen tam ngeen contribute and bu fekkee ne da ngeen am questions boo leen bëgg a xam with regards to the voter registration and everything Flex mu ngi fi moom mun naa leen a jàppale mu la answer leen seen question boobu but suñ technicien yi suñ paree we will take a short commercial break or a video boo xam ne suñ naataango yi génnoon nañ si biti pour ñu mun a waxtaan ak askan bi su waarum voter registration bi the process comme lu mu nekk di demee ak ñu ko experience ñoom luñ mun a wax so lii nekk na loo xam ne tey loolu leen fi amal konka yéen yéen a wax ne we have to talk about voter registration because now it is the ice pack of everything because people are going out getting their voters card but a lot of Gambians also are still sitting at home without attaining their voters card te lii nekk na loo xam ne if you have your voters card please sensitize or educate your fellow Gambian to go out there to attain their voters card because voter registration wala am voters card nekkul ne rek comme danga koo am rek mu nekk mébal si yow no it is meant for you going out there on December 4th to elect a leader that you think that person can represent you and represent the whole country. It should not be based on sentiments because nowadays politics is all based on sentiments.
And tribal. A tribe.
Exactly. So people should desist from that because we don't believe in Gambia. Wesuna fofu and Gambia belongs to each and everyone. You, me, Adama Barrow, Lawyer Usainu Dabo, Mama Kande, every genuine out there ñun ñoo moom Gambia te ñu ñoo war a defar Gambia we all have a responsibility to play we all have a role to play so one of the key roles that Gambians are playing or needs to play is exercising their rights. This is not about giving privilege or something. It's a right that an individual or a Gambian is having to go out and vote. So I think it is important because a lot of times my I have this colleague or Sumahariti. Most of them are all young people, While the moment when I have voters card registration, they start na can I don't voters card, I said to you, what voters card, because we know a lot of young people are going out there to attain their voters card, but a good number of them are also sitting at home because they didn't even have hope on the future of Gambia anymore. So that's the problem. Unless you want to encourage them, we will still continue to have our own sensitization and education process, in order for them to go out there and attain their voters card. So I don't know whether my technicians are ready. We go and look for.
Pakor nying presidential election o min kana iti amira party juma be win
inshallah alala de maroto ka sara alala akabo allah taala manso men ka al manso fali manso la barole be gagnela
iti amira mina sayte ko barole be gagnela
because barobe niajen ko barole be gagnela baroe democratie la di Gambia dingil la baroe Gambiano la freedom le di la Gambiano be men ko sanji moni fulam be ngole jayla adum be ngaji la fana barobe do ko men Gambia banko kanja so wala kinan ko ni ala niyo sama next election men kana ta man jam fo bake barole be gagnela inshallah
itala carte keso e badi la juma
ni ala sontante fana ni na dimbal be na carte keso tala badi la barol la ha
sa iti amene ni baro winta aba banko sambala nyaata katun kuma jama ba fo kanko banko man tara ta kan nyaata iti amene na winta ko ten kay chance ta winta aba banko develop la
ni ala sonta ka inshallah na gagné da ko teke woto mo le fana be na baro fana lonna fana mo si fale fana mate fana de ala la de maro inshallah yalla ni mo first time la bar second time ngana wolto fana balo na Gambia banko be ta ka nyame to nyaato nya baro le nyanta banko ni sambala
Lamin
Kasama nying carte fayo min felentinga kanana iti amira parti jumal be winna
nying election min gina jam parti yo min wala mu UDP United Democratic Party wala be winna nyi bankunka because of bi mol nyabe mol be nyaay UDP jele biabe men toñale ka adama baro mu jamfan tonleti jamfan ton ay Gambia banko bere jamfa because animal lahido men fa mak ako sanji sabo bodeje saya nata ko sanji lulu bodeje saya ka sanji tani lulu ngaba ndo ani mol mof birabe sile ja ko hani sanji fula kanyan sanji fulo mankeno ako sanji sabata wasatal hadama du men ko taw ko wasata saya te kana ka loy ke la hido betinya o dai Gambia banko le jamfa mammo jamfa fon le jamfa aman jampa wa sitale amam me bak karlu le benate ma karwor say be futala lulat adam baro mba fintinta faysina set be pare nga sama commission nyaato ay molla ko do men besunya bejo hani fente tulaje ha hani tous atetulaje nda ateta hani janni jam be pare be burla ko Senegal in kol ye bo dabo molla carte fayot ani ñu forenal mel be banko ko njak fe ye dabla molla carte fo be to sefel mba be sen mba be sefel mba be lande abe be lan tablo ka ni ko jang wi lawlu VDP wiw to fe yalla koy dabaw nano yefindi banko kat kani ye mut nim me fo be la ko damal to fe nu ko da bebul bidikala bebul businessman on yeta yela hajo topoto ni Senegal ko le teta yeta la business o topoto ye dabu mo la business o ko mo la bo carte fo ko mo fe wal men be ka ki jang forena ka gine ka carte fo ko Gambian ko bugé dabu la je Senegal ko ka carte fo ne Senegal Gambian ko bugé dabu la je Gine bisa ngol ka kata fayne buge dabule kata najira banko be ke kata fayne Gambian kol mo interesseto hani Gambian kol membe sire la banko ka e buge dabule la kata fay ko ni mu Gambia no let foren la haji ta nyinto altasi alita la go ko la ni ye si jateta yo topoto ni dabule mo la kata fay ni me sore fon la si famat ha ni me soto e fon la si fam be pero boda je ay si yemen ke ya jame jamano yo bulaw noma e kana problème sama nañ banko ka ni problème sama nañ ala mo njaay abi kubine ko kan net ita kanalat ni miro ko ite be kanala ya baro na la ECOWAS be ma be fale mbal be bombarder jam mbal be fale jan dak tapati ta fale ji ha
ite amira iko UDP la ba gagné mina sa ite afa ko UDP la ba gagné
la because ni na ta TRRC menke da jambe nga moyle UDP le lota jaye fan sacrifice ye ko beke jang ye ya jamme bonde jang nga adama boro sama nga muta nga sindi adama boro muta ko da UDP jamfa ate mo kino muta ko da nata UDP jamfa na fi ko du da ko e ka ko ni bawusen mu mo jawol bawusen te bawusen
na fi ko comme ça jumani jumal
fi ko te mo to fole mel be adama boro noma mel be ba noma tout ntamanda mo kino to bara alo mo be tout mel be ba noma je be tout e be mu nafiko le man ta fe na je fole ji fokon because be men na ja nyabalal nay ko do dile kadale kallahu ka ko do tay ka tala e bu ka fem fa e bo iba e ya nyasiti a be dama finkite ma be siri na ma wula nya yele sinin sama na ko jom wi dabo e be borda ko hani kilinte lola ko je men ba ma ko
sa ite la carte ke so iba dila jumal
carte ke so dawole tam woti ndenen na dimbal be ta da fo mo woni feng wol be mu yudi fi rek hani taja naji ntanga mo long bi ndakaf ñomal tero mo be ntelon ndela mu lamin kasama nga banjun male nga talendim male say ordinaire na mbester ol yundum bad nguluta bad bu bani ha mo len telon te ndamanke mo dindi banko gant mo len to jollo mbak dum ndemeta opposition meta UDP binte maybe man buka fengere bar UDP meta ko kella bak on the ground ha UDP na diat alna la kilay je ñu banko kanja na la muy wiw UDP la yes na diat alna la kilay UDP drop ha
soo bëggee jot xaalis bàyyeekoo UK Europe USA Canada Switzerland ak àddina wërngal képp Supersonix Money Transfer ñu ngi ci ànd ak yéen ak yónneekaay xaalis bu gën a màgg ci Gambia mën nga jot xaalis fépp fi nga ne bàyyeekoo kaatong ba koy na te doo ci am benn jafe-jafe waaw mën nga jot xaalis bàyyeekoo ci sa ay mbokka ak am di jàmma nekk ci UK Europe US Canada Switzerland ak àddina wërngal képp ak suñu yónneekaay xaalis bu màgg bi nga xam ne dafa wóor gaaw te noppale fii si biir Gambia Supersonix Money Transfer ñu ngi ci ñetti fukk ak ñeent dëkk si biir Afrika ngir jox leen melowaay yu gën si jotum xaalis bi nga xam ne kenn du ko laam-laamee saytu leen ñu si Google Play Store wala App Store ngir mun a bindu si suñ app bii di Supersonix Money Transfer app ndax ngeen mun a bànneexu si suñ money transfer services yi ay mbégte rek la ak Supersonix.
Thank you for that, Flex. You have seen on the video when people were asked who they're going to vote for, and people were like APRC, people were like UDP. So, what do you make of all these political parties also registering for just one particular position in this country?
Oh, you mean the having 18 or so
Exactly.
political parties for
Yeah.
such a small population of 2
Yeah,
million?
yeah.
Well, we are living in an environment where, you know, it's expected that the more you open up the space,
Right.
the democratic space, the more you can get more political parties. It's a lot. 18 political parties is a significant amount, and we have seen historically. You've got mostly about 3 presidential candidates. Usually. So I don't know, but a political party is not just to run for presidential elections. You know, you have national assembly elections, you have local government elections as well as it's also a way to engage the people and bring about political change, not necessarily via power only. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot. Certainly, I think we may have a little bit more than we need, but it's up for us to see how these parties will fare, whether they will be going in just for political positions. Well, or they may be doing some civic education, some civic awareness, because of political parties can do that. We've seen PDIS here.
Yeah.
They're a party who sensitize and educate the masses. So we hope that the political parties, the proliferation of political parties, means that more people will take, you know, ownership of their country and feel like they are different, and understand that it's not just about running for presidential elections. You know, you have other elections, local government, Mungfa, you have National Assembly also, Mungfa.
So léegi xam nañ ne election bi soriwaatut, we just have few months balaa ñoo dugg ci election bi. A lot of things are being said already, you know. So now that we are at the verge of selecting a leader, léegi luy nekk sa advice to Gambians out there in order to select a good you know, a good leader who can represent us, because we have heard a lot of things like, you know, a president should have certain qualities, you know, and stuff. So what's going to be your advice?
I think we haven't reached that stage yet, definitely, and because we haven't reached that stage yet, and I'll explain. IEC will have to look at each candidate and vet that candidate.
Madam, the nominations.
So soon as nomination process here, then gis nyata, because of surely how many candidates soon apply, maybe they haven't fulfilled all the requirements or the criteria. So the they may not be able to be candidates, you know. So, but we don't know who that is, and we don't know who have fulfilled the criteria yet. So, but that doesn't mean that those still, at least those who have announced that they have a, you know, want to be a candidate or put themselves on the pedestal as presidential candidate, they will obviously be looking at those people and sizing them up right now. So I think the one thing we all have to look at, first of all, is to make sure that we get the voters card. Because if you don't get the voters card, you will not be able to even select your leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when it comes to the nomination, you will not be able to participate even after. You see. So when we get to the nomination, what I will advise our listeners and your listeners is to pay particular close attention to the nomination process. Yeah. Watch it like a hawk. You see, when you watch that nomination process very closely, then you will be able to assess those leaders who have made it through that nomination process, because the IEC will have to review them and vet them. So when that happens, then now we can now see, Mr. X Mufa, Mr. Y Mufa, maybe who is there, then we'll be able to make another assessment. But very soon, eventually, and I think that will have to be after the whole voters registration
process.
But for now, Dal, we need to have 1 million voters there. 1 million voters warning ko am Gambia.
Yeah.
Because there are at least 2 million plus Gambians right now, some population. You know how much? I don't know whether we've reached to 2.5 million, but I think that it's a lot of Gambians we have. So definitely, 1 million and 1 million voters. yéen soo leen demut am seen voters card du mun a am 1 million voters.
the youth matter man
nagay génn ñu dem uti voters
war a
card
jóg de.
maa si ñoom Adam Cissé ak ñoom Aïssatou Touré.
Exactly.
ba léegi they still did not get voters card.
Man am naa suma voters card de.
Man tam I already have mine.
You have your voters card.
Yes.
Ba am nga sa voters card.
man suma area ñëwaguñ fi waaye inshallah 28 gaay leen ñëw
gis na
Yeah.
parce que yëf neex na yow xam nga date bu sa gaay di ñëw.
man xam naa ko bu baax sax
That's very important.
ak tamit génn nañ dem nañ to several voter registration centers àgg nañ foofu di Fajikunda Bantaba pour observe whole things yi naka la nekk di demee foofu waxtaan nañ ak askan bi waaye mostly fekk nañ fa party agency fekk nañ fa party agents bu UDP bu NPP bu PDOIS bu GDC si waxtaan buñ daal di am ak gaay daal di dañu wax ne ñoom according to observations you guys make the turnout is very high ñu ne turnout bi dafa bëri te mostly ñu nekk di turnout mooy jigéen ñi and the youths ñu ne jigéen ñi and youths ñoom ñoo gën a nekk ñoo xam ne ñoo génn pour dem uti loolu di voters card ak tamit wax leen gaay ñoom according to observations yu gaay make na am neen foofu ay difficulties yu gaay nekk di face because ñeneen dañ nekk di wax ne suñ demee uti voters card dañ dee soona dañ dee yàgg a toog mun nga fa toog a whole day doo am a voters card waaye ñu ne ñoom foofu amuñ loolu dangaa dem several minutes rek nga dem nga am sa voters card soo paree nga ñibbi ak tamit the most impressed lu gën a impress mooy the relationship bu ma gis foofu between political party agents it shows a political maturity so I hope ne ñu continue di def loolu because jaaxante bi amul benn njëriñ suñu ideologies yi ñoo nekk different man damaa support this part yow nga support this part waaye loolu taxul ne dañoo nekk di saagante o ñu nekk di xastante all the time waaye bi ñu demee foofu gis nañ ne relationship bi is running very smooth ak the process is going very well so ñu ngi encourage the youths ak the women ak tamit góor yi sax ñu génn pour dem uti voters card ñu mën a gis ne ñoom tam seen vote yi ñu mun a count because your vote is your voice doo mun a toog di wax ne dëkk bi demut dëkk bi nii ak nii te amul voters card dafa mel ni amul benn njëriñ so ñu ngi ooj ñëpp pour ñu génn ñu dem uti voters card ñu mun a sànni carte comme December 4 because dëkk bi su baaxee ñun la baaxal su bonee ñun la bonal so it's a collective responsibility ñun ñëpp ñoo war a ñëw ñu work together pour mun a gis ne Gambia mun a nekk a safe haven for all of us because lii ñu ngi ko nekk di def nekkut pour ñun kese ñu we are doing it for our future generation pour xale yu nekk di ñëw ëllëg pour mun a gis ne ñu bi leen better future pour mun a gis ñoom ñëpp su ñëwee mun a nekk a Gambia of all so it's something nga xam ne it's very important.
I think we have a caller on the line.
Okay. Hello, good evening.
Evening.
Aissatou, how are you?
I'm fine. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
You guys are doing nice job. I am following.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I just want to come in one place.
You're welcome.
That is the issue. That is the issue of the Rohimaric law, the mayor of Banjul giving attestation letter to the people of Banjul who wanted to acquire voters.
Okay.
I know, like Madi Jobate rightly said, even the constitution, there is no single place which mentioned that a mayor or parliamentarian should be given that. It is only mentioned that district chief, the alcalde or the SAFO are the one responsible, to provide that attestation letter in order to verify that, he or she are, like particular citizen of that area. But I think, since the constitution did not mention anyone like mayor or parliamentarian, and we all know like places like Banjul, there is no alcalde. There's no SAFO. So like I think like personally, I'm not talking of anyone's view, but my own view personally, I think there should be an exception for the mayor to step in for that job. Because if we said we want to give that job to the IEC, I think it's going to be very, very awkward because the IEC don't know exactly who who was born from Banjul or who resides in Banjul or who resides not in Banjul. They might find difficult to do that. But I think if the mayor of Banjul can collaborate, to work amicably with the people of IEC in order to give attestation letter to Banjul people, I think it would be great. To my own view, that's what I think that it should be done, because since there's nothing in provision in constitution that says that the mayor is responsible. We all know, like I said, Banjul is just like anything. There is no alcalde or SAFO, but I think there should be an exception for the mayor. That's what I think personally.
So what do you think?
Yes, that's what I want to contribute.
That the mayor does not have any powers to, to issue attestation to Banjulians. It should be given to someone else.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The mayor did not have any power. We all know that. It's clearly stated in the constitution. It's either the district chief or the alcalos that are responsible for doing that. But what I'm saying, Banjul and KM, there is no alcalo. So in that place, personally, I think there should be an exception for the mayor to step in, and also, if possible, to work with the IEC in order for them to give attestation. Because if the IEC want to take that sole responsibility, trust me, they might not know all those faces, faces that are born and raised in Banjul. They might not know all that. But with the help of mayor and people that are surrounding her, they know, because they are Banjulan. So they obviously they know, who's born in Banjul and who's not.
Maybe
that's my personal view anyway. So, and that's what I want to contribute.
Thank you.
I can try and respond.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that very useful contribution. So Holly, if you look at the Electoral Act, they also have you can have attestation from 5 community leaders.
Okay.
Yeah. So this attestation from 5 community leaders, 5 elders, could be, in the case of Banjul, the problem is with these 5 elders, I will highlight and make it explicitly clear. In some areas, you have one party who will bring their 5 elders. You have a group of 5 elders here, attesting for those people who they feel are their people. And then you have another 5 group of elders doing for another party, and they are attesting. So the IEC, and I was at the National Assembly when the IEC chairperson was complaining about this.
Right.
Excuse me. So the law is not very clear how these 5 elders should be selected. But if there are very clear regulations how these 5 elders should be selected to ensure that they are apolitical, they could be the religious leaders, they could be the imams in that area, they could be the Christian community leaders in that area. I don't know if you see where I'm coming.
Yeah.
Who are supposed to be apolitical. These people should not join any political party.
Or even if they join, they shouldn't show it.
They shouldn't show it. So the IEC could have created, and that would still be complying with the law. You see, the thing with the law, it's not about convenience. Law bisune. Mayor amul right pour joxe attestation. Amul right pour joxe attestation. So and law bi sune li ak li mo war happen. Lola law bi wax. Sometimes we complain, and us as activists, we complain about the law when the law we feel is not appropriate, but we advocate for that law to be changed.
Right.
So, and I think the IEC, this is just my perspective. I'm not necessarily representative of Open Society Forum, because we haven't had a position on this whole mayor attestation issue. But in my view, one way that this could be avoided is for the IEC to go and highlight 5 elders and then identify a regulation for how to have 5 elders who are apolitical. Yeah, like I have highlighted, we could have the Imam, Ratib of Banjul. Yeah, you could have the what's it called, Christian community leader, and pick another 3 leaders, and then you can go. You can maybe even pick 1 community leader, a political leader from each ward in each constituency in Banjul. You have Banjul South, Banjul Central, and Banjul North. You understand?
Yeah.
That could fill up the other 3. But these are all recommendations which I'm just putting out there. They are not something that has been agreed by the Open Society Forum, which I'm representing here today. But in my perspective, the law is not there for convenience. We have to act within the law, and we have to avoid going against the law. Definitely.
And I was in an argument with people on social media and stuff, because they think that the mayor is just having a privilege for now in giving out attestations, but I think this boils down to our National Assembly members, because when they were enacting or when they were making these laws, did they think about in the case of Banjul, whereas there is no CFO, there is no Alcalo? They have to.
Yeah.
Because a mayor is a political appointee.
Yeah.
Right?
So historically, if you look at it with Banjul, the case with Banjul is slightly different with the other areas in Gambia, because in Banjul, everybody who is born there is expected to have a birth certificate.
Exactly.
So you don't really need to have another document. So Lulu Neka, one of the challenges, and I can see that certainly some people feel that we will have to go and historically find out.
Yeah,
was this attestation in place, in fact, in the past?
They said this thing has been going on.
Okay.
It has been going on.
It's something that has been happening.
It has
it's
something that has been happening.
Okay.
So why now in the case of the mayoress?
Yeah.
Because this has been a debate amongst Gambians on social media, in Bantabas and everywhere, whereas people think that she still has the right to give out attestation to Banjulians. Because we have seen last Saturday Banjulians went out to protest against the mayoress. Like, she's giving out attestations to
the wrong
Banjulians and also refusing to give out attestation to genuine Banjulians.
Oh, okay.
Because these are things that we are trying to get to the mayoress. We tried to call her yesterday and today, but to no avail. And I hope like she will definitely grant us an interview so that we can talk about this thing, because this issue is important and it's critical and it needs to be addressed. Because yesterday we had a caller all the way from Germany who was trying to address the issue. He respected her so much with regards to her work and then delivering to Banjulians, but in the case of attestation, fofu nonu dafa hawa living because of she's a political appointee. You know. So
I would certainly recommend her to seek legal advice. There are lawyers around who can advise her. So when you talk to these lawyers, they'll be able to give you a good idea whether what she's doing is in line with the law or not. And I'm sure within the party she represents, I mean, her party leader is a lawyer. And the rest of the people in her party, they have legal representatives there that could advise her so that she could ensure that she is in line with the law. So I think it's very important for us not to joke around with that. The National Assembly have a duty here.
Right.
They have the responsibility to ensure that the laws are being implemented. If they observe that the laws are not being implemented, they can summon. They can summon.
Yeah.
Even the IEC.
Yeah.
And I question, how does the IEC have the mandate to delegate for the mayor to give attestation when that is not actually what is in the Constitution and the laws of the Gambia?
Yeah.
Right.
I think the National Assembly also have, but these are just my perspectives. They have a responsibility, in my view, to look at the whole issue and to call the IEC and say, this is what the law says. Is there another way we can go about it? Okay. I agree that people have been saying that this is something that, and to talk to your point, which is very important, that this is something that has been happening.
Right.
But in Gambia, so many things have been happening. We are in a transitional process. What that means is we are committed to change. That's what it means. We want new laws to change the way things are done.
Right.
We want to change electoral reform, the process. So these are all the issues where I tend to push back whenever people say this has been happening for so long, so why now all of a sudden? Yes, now we are critical Gambians. Now we have a National Assembly which scrutinizes.
Right.
So we are hoping that this actually happens, but we'll have to wait and see what happens, definitely.
And also, when it comes to uti national documents, because nit yu bari ñu ngi am issue, because da nga gis ne voter registration bu mu commencé boobu la ñu bari dem di uti loolu di birth certificate ak national identity card. So you don't am pour wax nit ñi when it comes to uti national document it's something very important nekut without elections bi am national document doon na loo xam ne as a genuine citizen a good citizen danga ko war a am so many people loolu tam dafa tax ñu bëri duñ mun a sànni carte because soo amut voters card lii kay ID card soo amut passport wala nga am alkalos attestation or birth certificate xam nga ne doo mun a sànni carte so nit yu bëri tamit duñ mun a sànni carte because amuñ documents yi te si jamono buñ toll nii pour dem uti ID card xam nga ne dafa nekk something very difficult because ñu bëri dañoo foog ne si jamono bi ñu bëri dañ ko soxla bu ñu waxee voter registration mu ngi commencé this time ak mu ngi jeex at this time ñu bëri boobu leen commencé di jóg pour dem uti loolu national documents te foog ma ne as a good citizen loolu wër nga koo def sa at all nga toog without any national documents.
You made a very important point. ñun yëpp national documents man sax I'll use myself as an example. So national documents definitely national documents dafa seer Gambia. So loolu bokk na si one of the concerns why people are not getting their national documents.
Right.
Want a birth certificate, I think every Gambian should have their birth certificate. Yow war nga so amutee sa birth certificate demal nga uti replacement. And I don't think that is a big charge. I don't know how much people have to pay for birth certificate, but I don't think it's a lot. So yow mun nga dem ut sa birth certificate. You know, I think that's the minimum that the Gambian can do. So coming to myself as an example, man ut naa suma ID card, national ID card. Some months back, earlier this year, because of man don't prepare ne. Even though I have my birth certificate, yeah, man don't prepare ne dina muna dem register for my suma voters card. So these are things you have it's expensive. It's not
very
cheap.
Expensive.
Lolo neka one of the reasons. So government daf ko wara xolaat bu baax the price of these documents. Naka lay ñëw make sure ne it's not too expensive that Gambians yëpp mun ko afford. Then finally naka la ñëw merge system bi sax. Since because of nit yi ñu ngi complain.
Yeah.
Bu ma demee foofu noonu like I went to yaa ngi demoon si benn polling registration center. Man itam demoon naa si beneen registration center dem naa si Bijulo Bantaba bu ma fa àggee gis naa gars yi di complain di ne government bi daf ñu bëgg a jox free voters card wante national ID card
bi mënut a nekk
daf ñoo charge so yaa ngi gis nit yi ñu ne lan den bëgg a ñu sànni leen carte moo tax so loolu tax na ñu dox di xalaat di xool ne waaw nit yi suñ leen joxoon just suñ maajoon ID card ak voters card loolu dina dimbale askan bi torop loolu dina dimbale askan bi torop so fu mu naa ne government bi xëj naan léegi fu mu nekk nii of course is loolu du nga ko mën a def léegi bonte government bi war nañ door di xool loolu naka la ñu ensure voters card bi ak ID card bi ñu def ko together su dee ñu ngi joxe free voters card ku nekk ñu jox leen free benn ID card boobu noonu mu am sa voters number bi for example depending on whatever they have to put there ñu issue benn free ID card te free ID card boobu noonu ngay vote su ko ñàkkee nag nga fay replacement nga fay pour replacement
I think it's a fair game. It's a fair deal.
su xalaatee loolu man daal encourage gars government ñu def loolu ñu xalaat loolu daal
Well, I'm about Maimuna rek mu remind viewers, we have changed the lines from officer to QCell.
Yeah, so ku bëgg a contribute wala nga send sa text message mun nga call 321-4457 321-4457 321-4457 nga call joxe sa contribution ñu waxtaan ñun tam ñu mun laa déglu because xel yi nekkuñ benn we have different ideologies ku nekk am nga sa gis-gis yow tam most suñ seetaan kam ju bëri ñu ngi si diaspora bi so I think mun nañoo wax si léegi diaspora voting bi tamit because ñun ñëw nañ realize ne maybe in this election duñ take part the diasporans also then they play a role when it comes to Gambian politics so I hope ne it's high time pour ñu mun a jox gars yi di opportunity pour ñoom tam ñu mun a sànni karta ñoom tam bokk nañ si réew mi ñu mun a sànni karta tamit
definitely gis nañ ne diaspora bi are very critical system economy Gambian diaspora over 20% of some budget bi.
Yeah.
So di nga gis ne over 20% of our GDP, sorry, not some budget, but our GDP, gross domestic product. Loolu yëpp si diaspora bi la moo jógee. So diaspora bi as a te ñoom, it's not just about the money that they're giving, but to just highlight some contribution to the Gambia. But most importantly, the fact that they are citizens, even if they are not contributing anything.
They are citizens.
Comme ka nga nekk citizen, nga am 18 years, nga war nañ la jox the right. Loolu la constitution bi di wax. Te gis nañ ne Supreme Court ruling bi wax na ne Gambians yi war na ñëw vote si elections bi. So definitely IEC war na ñëw ensure ñu announce registration center si diaspora bi kañ la ñëw fan ak fan comme nun annoncé yow sa yow xam nga ne 28 la yaa ngi koo xaar nun la diaspora bi war di xaar di gàppa ne waaw venue bi fan la ba ñu dem ñu xam fan la ay yooyu noonu you know. So I think definitely then war a register the Gambians because of loi bi si Gambian loi bi electoral act is very clear mu ne soo xoolee provision 11 on the electoral act mu ne naa ko read 11 subsection 1 electoral act bi elections act bi laa nekk di read mu ne naa ko read word to word subsection 1 mu ne the commission shall prepare, compile and maintain in accordance with this part a register of voters for each constituency and a register of Gambian registered voters in foreign countries. You see? So lolu yep dafa important. Dañ ko wara register Gambians in diaspora according to provision 11 subsection 1. So lolu as a minimum dañ ko wara def. Ba pare so demé ci same act bi ni buma nekk di wax. Mu ne provision 141. Yeah? 141, that's the last line. See Elections Act. Mune, the power to conduct presidential election in a foreign country. The commission may make rules for Gambians in any foreign country to vote in a presidential election. And the commission here is the IEC. So mnge wax ne IEC dafa am room wala def.
Yeah.
Ñom ñoo wara create yana loi. Yana cadre yo xamne fofu lolu moy guide naka la Gambians ci diaspora di vote. So IEC def leen loolu electoral suñ authorities yi ten war a def lu mu war a def you know.
waaye soo seetee ba seet ñu bëri dañ wax ne Gambie bi they are not fit pour mun a gis ne Gambien su nekk out for ñu nekk si diaspora bi pour ñu mun a sànni carte xam nga duñ mun a sànni carte noonu they need fond tamit xaalis bi tamit it matters a lot pour mun a gis ne ñooñ tam mun nañoo sànni carte so dañ war a def by all means pour mun a gis ne gars yi am nañ the necessary funds pour mun a gis ne Gambien su nekk diaspora ñu mun a sànni carte ba tam dañoo wax gars rek mun nañoo dig ticket rek ñëw fi ñu uti voters card.
waaw yaa ngi gis tamit.
That should be a second
option.
Foofu laa bëgg a ñëw.
That should be a second option because every genuine Gambian, in as much as yaa ngi abroad or whether you are in America, England or wherever, if you are eligible to vote, you have the right and you should vote.
So gis nga yow loo wax tamit xool naa ko. Xool naa ko bu baax because wax nga lu am solo wante foog naa ne suñ register yi Gambians abroad. Imagine they go outside and register all the Gambians that are abroad. Yeah, at least ñun xam ne December time la elections bi di happen. te boobu day happen December.
ñu bëri dañ ñëw.
ñana day ñëw.
wala semestre yi.
semestre yi diaspora na du dëgg. du man fii ngeen ma amoon seen show ma ne leen man nekkaatuma semestre gis nga demaatuma. So su IEC at least ak foreign affairs because of lii mënuñ koo bàyyi si IEC rek. You know National Assembly members yi ñu ngi fa pour def loi yi foreign affairs tamit ñu ngi fa abroad ñu ngi fa am seen embassy si so ñoom ñoo xam Gambians yi fu nekk. te mu war a work together suñ register yi suñ demee abroad ñu register Gambians yi foog naa ne si Christmas bi in December time. gars yi semestre yu bari dinañ ñëw de.
dinañ sakka
dinañ ñëw pour sànni carte de.
waaw
loolu sax soo happening at least government bi mu ngi meet gars yi fan halfway. ndadu. wante su gars yi register woon fii ba December. For me, it's a way government is supposed to encourage more Gambians new returns. See December. This is the economy. We not more help the economy.
It will
Boost the economy. You know, but that's besides the point. Luma Neka the experience is besides the point. The point is then what a job at least new register len yep. You know, so but and then the maximum is new them for new allow guy new vote. When the guy don't want it. Halis be I see you don't want it. Halis be mumfa. Mom lulu mama jomi. You know Halis be mumfa.
That's why I said now Gambians amatuñ hope say IEC. Legi yen ngeen ne Halis be mumfa. What is stopping you guys from registering those?
War nañ ko latte
in the diaspora.
War nañ ko latte. Lulu
this has been a question that every Gambian is asking.
Yeah,
because this is elections. And tananjit dafa important. Legi nit yi ñu ngi wax ne Gambians we know 2016 election was one of the most important election Gambia mu musa am. We understand.
Yeah.
But this one as well.
Very.
Am na ñu nekk di wax ñoom dee sa moo leen gënal ñu lose election.
Oh wow, dégg nañ ko.
We have had all those stuff.
Wow, dégg nañ ko.
Wow. So gis nga loolu su amee meaning ne like these elections will be one of the most crucial and important election in the history of Gambia.
Yeah. But so really, foguma ne I don't think
it needs to be looked into.
Go on and you want
then revisit some of their laws.
Definitely.
You know, to put in place because I believe they are not being fair to the diaspora and people. You know.
Definitely.
They are not being fair.
Just for highlight, gis neen fii ñoo xam ne Senegalese yi ñu ngi vote fii nii.
Exactly.
Wow, ñoom seen elections.
Some elections. Gis neen other countries yoo xam ne maybe they are even smaller than Gambia.
Guinea.
You get in the Senate, the vote Senegalese school.
Wow.
Fofu la gaay dem bori Senegalese school.
Embassy bi.
Yeah. Bori embassy is fofu non. So lolu amna Senegal sax ñom am neen ñaata Gambian diaspora man ko read I'm trying to find it here because of publication nako at one point. They're having at least almost 15 Gambian diaspora National Assembly members. Ba pare mën nañu vote. Waxuma just pour vote, not only then they vote, then National Assembly member representatives.
Exactly.
So
if other countries are having that, Gambia ñun lu ñoo xaar.
At least then what else? Should they buy on you jox ñu like National Assembly members in the diaspora? They should at least have allow Gambians to vote. Lulu as a minimum, Lulu is a must. Should be done.
Yeah.
We have some comments and Ki Mune Haruna so Mune go and tell the young people and Ki Abdullah Jara Mune UDP is a Mandinka party also. Aboka Jaro again said UDP is a tribalist party. So
I think people should stop saying that.
Exactly.
Stop saying that. It's not fair. It's not fair. I mean, you know, certainly those kind of rhetoric today in the more togetherness in our politics.
Yeah.
You know, every party you will find has a hint of a stronger ethnicity. Yeah. Some parties actually don't. I won't say every party. One or two parties I feel don't. But that is something historically it's been in our politics. Now we will have to walk away from that and us continuing to reinforce that point really Fogumane dafa help you move away from that really. Yeah.
I think at a point Gambia fumnekani unity is best, togetherness. We have to come together as Gambians. Nañ faté politique bi njit dañ dé dem ak ñew, but Gambians ak ñun we are here to stay. And then man dama feel like the political maturity in Gambia it's lacking a lot. And people need to be educated and sensitized. We are seeing a lot of bullying happening on social media. Simply because Isatu is supporting this particular party and then Flex is not supporting this particular party, people will start attacking you.
Indeed.
So these are the things that Gambians should work on. You know kuneka sangente, sataka, you know, we are always there for each other. So we should not allow tribal sentiments or we should not allow leaders to divide us. Because nyom dende nyo plus for a particular time, so if you then they someone else will represent the person or replace the person. So these are things that Gambians should look more into ñu jéem a try to ñu defar suñ country to develop this country. Because a lot of people are saying Gambia still mu ngi si gannaaw.
dafa des.
dafa des. You know, and a lot of people are also saying Gambia du dem. te neexut ba neex there are certain things happening in this country if we don't change our attitudinal change also contributes. If we don't change our attitude, this country will still be where it is.
Definitely.
We will not definitely move
At all.
So these are the kind of things that Gambians should look into and work on that. Politics is politics. Politics su ñëwee nañ leen politique. You understand?
Yeah.
Politics su ñëwee nañ leen politique waaye politique su jeexee kaay lañ focus on national
development.
Definitely. Yeah. You are very right. I think so xoolee am na benn report bu génnoon WANEP West African Network for Peace Building. WANEP nekk na ay institute here in the Gambia. But they always talk about peace. Then they assess the security situation. So Lulu Bokonasi, one of their concerns that they raised, that there is a lot of acrimony on the social media, the cyber warriors.
Right.
The social media cyber warriors, accent wars, online battles, you know, it's ongoing. So, and in between the political party, there needs to be a lot more dialogue.
Yeah.
Right.
Then what the waxtaan pour gars yi ñëw waxtaan bi constitution bi somebody from Nigeria have to come and try to bring them together.
Mediate rather.
So yaa ngi gis ne
these are kind of things that we dañ ci war a roon a ruslu sax. You know, because this is one of the most important book that Gambia ever had.
Indeed.
You know, so we know nit yi duñ mun a agree yoon di nga mun a agree on certain things that I will not be agreed on.
Of course.
But loolu meanu ne it has to favor every genuine Gambian.
Yes, exactly. So I think that's one of the things. But I will call to the party supporters, ñoom seen boppa. Then I'm a responsibility also.
To play.
You know, xam ne ne lii politique la te definitely ku nekk bëgg a win.
Yeah.
So loolu de tax léegi ngaañe bi ñëw moo kante ay yooyu noonu wante na nekk ak kaf. Let it be joke. Exactly. I like what you explained that, you know, when you went to see at the polling station, see Bantababi, how the different political party representatives.
ñoom ñoo doon lekk sax.
You know,
ñii seen añ bi su ñëwee. ñu ooñale ñu ñëw gaa ñu añ ñale seen añ bi gaa ñu doon tooñante xam nga. di kafate di wax ne yéen amu leen njëgi chicken yéen njëgi kobu ngeen am.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You see? So we are urging our political leaders to every now and then go and have a coffee with your political opponents.
Yes.
You know, meet President Senudabok and meet President Barrow, and they have a coffee, morning coffee. Just that picture will diffuse tension. Time politics do len compete.
Laalante de.
Wow, laalante foog mu am.
In a sensible way.
Not in laalante nekkul ne laalante in a physical. Buñ gis kenn laalante de. Wow. But like competition dina am.
Exactly.
There is what you call it's like a competition which is positive. A competition boo xam ne is encouraging all of you.
Dafa la njëriñ.
Yéen ñëpp la moo njëriñ. You know, the country in the end is gonna be the winner. So foog naa ne that peace and stability ñun ñëpp gis neen am neen fi woon impasse.
Yeah.
2016. Nobody wants to go through that again.
Right.
So
then I'll flee the country and go and wait for you.
am na ñu bari nga xam ne daw neen dëkkal mbaa bokkuloo si ñu
xamutoon seen dëkk yi.
yow foo nekkoon yow xam naa yow daw nga bàyyi dëkk bi de yow.
ñu xamutoon seen dëkk man dawoon naa demoon naa suma village ba ngaa ñu gisee rek ñu ne réfugié yaa ngi.
réfugié yaa ngi gis nga balaa ñu ñëw nekk ak réfugié. Let's take a caller.
Hello, caller. Hello. Hello, caller. Hello.
Okay.
Okay, we lost that caller, but please call back and contribute today. we have Flex down here. Flex has been an outspoken journalist and also an activist. I'm speaking on behalf of the voiceless, and he is here to talk about, elections and election voter registrations and everything.
Hello,
and I think that he's created. Okay. Hello, caller.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, hello, caller. Naka nga tuda ak fo nga caller.
Nanga tuda Idrissa Mbalo, mangi Spain.
Idrissa Mbalo from Spain. Naka wa Spain?
Alhamdulillah, ñu fi sant Yalla bu baax.
Amazing. Yo lo am tay pour contribuer ci show bi.
Okay, sorry huma ci wolof xaaral ma wax ci soose.
Okay, isi tano manika kangola manke problem moti.
Okay, ani na mandika kango man sene ya but sa try no mandika kangola.
Okay,
ngali kontom bake.
Aparaka.
Allah lo dula nyima betata bakele but first of all journalist lu ntenga men soto men fola journalist lu men be Gambia be ngel konton ala ya so sima ya ba ali jata kende ya
amin.
Okay, ku kilin journalist amanyana da dundila politique ko la kilin pour parti ko la dal,
Right.
because ni itarita parti dola ni ko ibeta parti dola moli yalon ko mantane o parti la rek isajo ko be ko le yala le. Okay, franda ko ame so be men ko la Gambia no liye ntel be mu ba.
Right.
Okay, katari social media ke do parne amanna pa so ko Gambia ye. Okay, be pare ni atu be nim ko be men be Gambia mam politique je jel to meni yalon ko abe lori Gambia la nyato tala. Ibe lori damanye pour itel fansura interest lem because ni aje molo ka kumandiro ke kabaneni roke aman jare wala because ni ajube. Okay, ni mo jada wuri kanne aman tari Gambia la nyato ta jube la kanne de aba fansun interest damande jube kanne because ni wonte al telu journalist lu meni yalon ko al karantale andu aye londo soto melu ka banko nyini woni al tele nyanta silale al ya kacha Gambia no liya lamoy Gambia no sulata jomale la keta manding ka bang keta jola bang keta pula bang keta sara pule bang Gambia no le menta yo tambin bi nyato woye tari nyato abankale pero aman jare no doya aman jare kanyone because ni wandi banen rek imela ba respect because ni ba respect ita wandi banen la because ni wandi banen rek ade jole tole. Okay, so internamente de Gambia dal ni kanko hani ñu voter card ni no la a problème o siata je bakele andu mo be man nyanna kala andu be pare Gambia no ka kariya ni na bakele akin kariya ni na kula because kanji mo ani kula Gambia no be batari ne mo buka hani kam wala ko fan so mbota del ko am hani kare kula ti wolu kana ni manya ti take min ko wo min mel kan manya te ibe min to so aliman tried na Cairo sabatindi Gambia ngalon ko si côté ti gel to be mu ba kilin patel gati moti de men fi sayata moti because ntelu men yalon ko mu Gambia di mollete ntelle kuma ya ka tango katambi mel be sirin be president yala wala men ka banko ni because ntelle ka mo sindi
Right.
so ntelle nyanta nyo molla nga nyo bunya nga nyo horma pero ntakaje nyamento because ntama politique de gel ko men ka diamu Gambia la nyato tala ate kansul la nyato ta doron aka wole ala nyato ta doron aka wole jube aman tari Gambia la ñatota juube kanne andum politique man tani lori Gambia même be Gambia la ñatota fo kanne ka wandi parti doron ne wo man na ba soto parti mel be Gambia demale be funtila Gambia eta Spain wala eta America iko ko ite mandi ko wala kulo wala farakule ika ko le bota Gambia so wala yatinna nan kaka nyo horma kanyo bunya abete ata batele Gambia no politique amanyan na tinna la pontelu na kuya wala na problemo so tinola man jare wala
right
so wala mun na kumoti ngali tentu ngali jay moy nadia moy nyadola wo man tan na hamodi na hakke dani Gambia no be ni nga kumo ko man na men fola aman tan na sawoti la fika doron pour Gambia la nyaata ka be ke lo la nyamen pero aman ko kuma potiti nte ni pati nanga mo men yalon ko ni ay banko soto wala mu Gambia la kayroti anin ala nyaata ka ala amaliya soto
amin
kila ba hormoto ngali tentu bate ngali jayi andum altelum monti men yalon ko ntefe altelle gena kuma yata ifin president wala because of money altelori dunia be almantari lori Gambia damaye president dum wakal lo Gambia damaye amantari lori dunia be adu wala yatinna kanan ko journaliste manyan na kela parti doto hadi because ni keta parti doto fo moli yalon ko be o parti to rek la do ko aka tinya domandi because wati do buka tonya kono dale diwe
abaraka bake
ni okay abaraka because namali ka bakele ngali tentu ngali jagi ali hako ko indinye
abaraka bake Idrissa ko mbal aliyamo nyam Idrissa e ko
hako dani hako bo indinye
abaraka bake Flex, you have had Idrissa said. He said that journalists, we have more crucial work and important work than even a president. Because, yes, because we are here for the whole world. We are here for the whole continent. It's just that we are not here just for, like the president is here just for a country. But journalists are also always representing the people. And we should be very careful with regards to, being involved in politics, because we have to leave aside our political sentiments and everything aside, and then work on behalf of the people.
Yeah, I think oftentimes there is this huge distrust for the media. You can hear it from his concerns.
Right.
But I think certainly it would help us for him to be more specific. Who are these journalists who are doing these things?
Exactly.
And I think that this is where I sometimes feel that for us to be able to fix any of these problems, we cannot be talking in vague terms.
Right.
You understand? I'm not saying that journalists don't do those things, and I know journalists do.
Right.
Yeah? So if some journalists are found wary of doing some things, we should be using concrete examples. So-and-so journalist did so-and-so thing. We look into that issue, address it. There's the Media Council, the Gambia. But besides that, certainly it wouldn't be, if at all journalists are more important than even the president, then I don't know why we're not voting for journalists.
Journalists,
instead, and giving them all the pay that the journalists are the poorest paid people, and yet all these responsibilities want to be put on top of journalists. Journalists don't get paid well. Journalists are not respected. They call on our platforms and abuse and heckle journalists. And then they don't pay for nothing. Many of the people we hope that we can move the journalism to a stage where journalists are seen as respected. They have enough funds. You see, it's two ways. I mean, journalists should certainly get enough pay. That way, if they do, people will be more independent. You will find it very rare for a journalist to go and find support or somewhere else, or want to lean their support onto another political party. But journalists that are not being paid well, oftentimes you will see them, they can be used. This is the reality.
Yeah.
So I think that these are all issues which the media, like Gambia Press Union, can be looking at. The media houses. I hope Gambia Talents Promotion will be paying you guys good money so that you can, so that you.
I know Pa Usman is watching. So.
I know he's watching. Yes. I hope so, because that way, even if the journalists are paid good, then you will see the people will raise concerns to them. You will have a lot more right to say, you have been paid well, but yet still you're just greedy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but like it's something certainly we have to think about, and we hope that the journalists will increase the level of our journalism and be apolitical. Definitely, as journalists, it doesn't mean that you should not support a political party,
or you shouldn't vote,
or you shouldn't cast a vote. Yeah, let's get those things very clear.
Yeah.
What it means is you must not show
where you belong.
Yeah, where you belong. People should find it very, very, very difficult to know where you belong. You understand? And then secondly, you shouldn't be advocating
for a certain political party.
That's not what that's not your job. As a journalist, we should respect those things. Certainly, I appreciate the gentleman's comments, and I think these are important things. I agree with him that our journalists should raise up their
voices,
their game to the current scenario. Yeah, definitely.
It's important. Just to remind you viewers, to those that are calling the AfriCell number, it's no more going. We are using the QCell, and it's 3. The number is
in front of your screen.
In front of your screens, 321 44 57. 321 4457. You can call on that number and also contribute, because we are talking about voter registration and both Gambians home and abroad. If you are eligible, you can register and go cast your vote. So
well, for the Gambians abroad, you will have to come here.
Exactly, because there is no way you guys
register.
There is no way you guys can register over there. So unless and until those that election will mean a lot to them, because we've also seen a lot of diasporans are already in the country to register. So that they will be able to vote. Probably they will be going back, but then they will be coming.
Maybe December.
Around November, ending of November. They've sent preparations and all.
That's a very expensive, thing for us to be demand.
Yeah.
Journalists going. I mean, not journalists. Sorry, citizens who are living abroad, traveling to come to register and then traveling again to vote. So it's very expensive.
But so what nako?
Yeah, it's definitely worth it if you can afford it. That's the thing.
But
I'm just worried then it becomes.
I know a lot of Gambians are out there. Same intention, Monica. Cast and vote. But others out there also. But some also cannot afford that. When you have a family to feed home, taking care of other things, that are difficult. So I guess probably the IEC and stakeholders should have meetings with regards to this whole diaspora voting thing, because the constitution, whereas probably if it goes through, they will be able to vote, but now all hopes are down with regards to the constitution. So I guess it's indeed a sad thing for them, but we are still reconsidering.
There is hope. There is hope.
There is no hope.
There is hope.
There is no hope at all.
There is. Let's not kill the hope. There is hope. There is hope, because the IEC have said that they put out a calendar and there is a date and a schedule and a time frame for the diaspora to register. So let's see whether they will stick to that time scale to register the diaspora.
Yeah. War nañ ko put into consideration pour ñoom tam ñu mëna take part ci elections, because ñoom tam seen vote matters a lot. Te ñoom société they are all Gambians. So ñu gis ne ñuy ñaax waa IEC ñoom tam ñu put loolu into consideration pour mëna gis ne Gambians out there ñoom tam mëna ñoo take part ci elections, because elections bi doon na election ñu bari ñu wax ne doon na election boo xam ne mooy gën a saf. mooy gën a saf si élection yuñ jot a am yëpp so di wax nit ñi pour ñu gën a bàyyi seen xel rek xam nga mooy élection bi dafa ñëw dem waaye Gambie ñun ñëpp ñoo fi nekk ñooy demandoor dëj ñooy demandoor njënte ñooy demandoor everything so buñ nangu politics mu put ñu aside mun a yaaxa suñ diggante ak cordial relationship yi nga xam ne yooyu leen amoon so war nañoo bàyyi suñ xel a lot when it comes to such things yeah.
Before we take leave of Flex, xam nañ ne we have take a lot of your time, but I know it worth it because people need to know what is actually on the ground. So dañoo bari pour nga emphasize on how do you see young people with regards to this
voter
registration because you know we have seen some statistics saying young people are going out to get their voters card, but are you expecting to see more young people going out there to get their voters card?
Definitely. I'm expecting to see a lot more young people. Just today, on the morning, I shared a post. I left my house heading out to work. There was a young man who is usually in my neighborhood who I had told to go and get a voter's card. And he did it. He got his voter's card and he came and he showed me. So it seems like the young people are, following with regards to vote, but there needs to be more sensitization.
Exactly, I believe.
Especially on the youth groups. I've seen some very good youth groups like National Youth Parliament and this Activista.
They've been doing a great job.
They've been doing a great job.
Yes.
And even tomorrow, for our viewers, I will be on Q Radio from around 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. in the morning to 10 a.m. on Activista, National Youth Platform. All of these are the things that the young people need to do. But certainly, don't miss out with the opportunity to get your voter's card. Because you need to look at what they call the IEC. They have a schedule that shows you when they will be coming to your area. In some areas, like Serekunda West, just here, see Park, that is a location for anybody that is listening to us and you are living in this area. You can go there. I know that is a location you can go to get your voter's card. And the other people who are living in other areas, you have to look at this schedule. Manbijulo Bantabala, that's my closest registration center. And I know that 9th, anybody living in Bijulo, that area, 9th tomorrow is the last day.
Pour fofu.
Okay. So manglena ñaax yeen yep ñu nekk Bijulo ngeen dem fofu nonu tomorrow. First thing in the morning, man 9 o'clock la fa demone almost my voters card be 1 o'clock. So the early dog, so they may very early come like 8 o'clock, I'm sure you might even get it very quickly and you brought all your documents. Because of lu de gëna yagal affaire ci moy pour attestation form. Alkali bi sign ko. So that's where I will end. Just to encourage more of our listeners, your listeners, Gambian talents, and all the Gambians out there to make sure that they go and they get their voters card. Especially.
Oh, we have a caller on the line.
I'm the last caller. Let's get that.
Yeah, probably he or she might be the last caller. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Sa tur bi ak foo ñoo koole.
Yo.
Okay, ito do nga ni ko kumandiro ke kamintole. Todi madung ani be kumandiro ke kamintole.
Ntele mo yidire sambalo still. Nko nyinin kar dole be mbulu kamen nyinin kala.
Okay.
Okay, pour ka register ka mon mene ko ini mulu kaito nata wala adin sede kaito nata alkalo la sede kaito nata.
Yes.
Yami ramo nyanta kala kole ya kuti bang.
Hani o manyana ka ke kole ya kuti. Surtout nyata no yewulu kaito soto.
Yo ngamira mo mene yalon ko ay wulu kaito nati wala ay ID kaito nati ako alafita voter card la ngamira wo manyan naka problem o sammanan walla ka ku kolen donati ko wonde
hade
okay nte komin nga foy non komanto mbe sulari men Gambia nolo yeke bakelen fakelen wala kuma yaka Gambia mu dua banko leti Gambia mu nema banko leti ali mbenga ten nga kairo dua mo men yalon ko ala fita pitinola ala ba pitino dila de tamatnela ay Gambia tuje komin sister ya fo nyamen to ko ñun ñoo de gentel ak leneen yi loolu moom dégala womu toñalite ka ko tella ka demala woto politique ko kana problème o soto politique ko la nga Gambia no be dani ala ni kila kan anyo horma nga ñoo punya politique ko ngatu politician lu bu ko men yalon ko ni carte wato tambita ntekata itea yemma ko ku dola ikana itea yemma ko ku dola ni politique ko ya tinna fo tinya ni tema sama ni sama la tambita min to intelle mo Gambia no leti intelle mo intelle kanyo sutura intelle kanyo ma koy ni politique ko ni siran ko mo men sita je ala costa de no menti ayala dingo ta ko aya samba America Gambia no lu fango 1.5 million Gambia no lu fango malong president o fango aka ala salary mo menti so Gambia no nyanta nyatili na wolto president o ni ala kodo mo muneti aka nini soto iya kono ni ay do ko ke ala kordato walla kodo use men yalon ko asiata woti nyanta ka konti bole ka long ay wo kodo bonni men to what because of wo kodo mu Gambia dingol ta mu wo kodo so pero molu katari gel ko abala fa warta bakale ka tari mo men yalon ko konti haninna to pangom da sa fe nola katari politique wala kamolu banen kamolu kabula alfa la manjare wala ali nga Gambia be dani ngake bakin parti
abaraka bake
ngali ko to bake alsi hakko boldinye mo men na kumo la moy ayadi mi ngadani hakola
abaraka bake la kumo nyinya abaraka bake Maymuna, you have anything to say?
am ñu ko jaajëfal bu baax a baax di wax ne lines are still open to any contribution ak any suggestion ñun we are here for the general public so ku nekk loo am tooguñ fi pour hasken wala di wax ne kii li ak li dañ feel ne the right thing lañ nekk di def pour mun a educate the general public when it comes to voter registration kon ñuy urge the young people women góor yi jigéen yi mag ak ndaw yi ñëpp nañ génn ñu dem uti voters card comme December 4 ñu gaay génn ñu dem sànni carte ñu bàyyi wax bu bëri bi
bàyyi wax bu bëri bi man doon wax nit yi ne léegi balaa maa debate ak yow politique man laaj la ana sa voters card soo amutee voters card lan laay waxtaan ak yow
Moussa maa am voters card
you don't your energy xam tay moom
sa card mooy sa card mooy sa yes mooy sa voice exactly
like suma benn xarit like all my friends has been tweeting, putting on their status. To all my friends that don't have a voter's card this year, if you don't obtain your voter's card, I am cutting you off from my So it's already a threat that some of my friends, have already started threatening people like me to go and have a voter's card. Though this is the second time I'll be voting because I've voted in 2016, which is an experience,
Indeed.
And I'll be voting again, inshallah, in the December 4th. But don't ask me who am I going to vote for, because I myself, I don't know.
It's the first time I'm going to be voting, because
Really?
I was in the diaspora
until
in 2018 when I returned.
Okay.
Around November. So it's gonna be like you can tell I'm so excited about it. Yeah, and I'm trying to encourage more Gambians to do it as well. So we'll see.
Maimuna also will be voting, so I don't need to ask who you're voting for.
This will be my first time of vote.
Amazing.
Yeah. So ñuy oñ nit ñi yëpp ñu dem uti seen voters card. Ak waa office bi sax léegi dañoo campagne.
Wow.
Ku amut sa voters card
doo fi toog.
Possible.
Wow.
And among the staff,
possible.
if you don't have your voters card, doo am salary.
We are starting from the top. We are starting from the top. We are not leaving anyone behind.
Yes.
You know.
Te am na office bi yëpp ñu fi nekk they are above 18.
Exactly.
So jóg leen ngeen dem uti seen voters card.
maa si ñoom Adam.
Waaw.
waa di leen jaajëfal rek di leen dig daje ba ëllëg incha allah seen biir Gambia show la woon ak seen xarit seen doom day Aïssatou Koli and also tey with alongside Maimuna Jaaju mi nekkoon suma co-host bi and ñu am today the vibrant amazing he's full of energy anywhere that you yes anywhere that you see Flex is always active so te loolu lañ bëgga as a journalist as an activist so you have to be full of life you have to be full of energy in order to execute your work because su dut loolu these walls are hard you must have to break it through pour nga mën a jaar yes so loolu la di leen dig daje ba ëllëg di jaajëfal suñ camera woman bi tey Adam has been doing an amazing work and also Musa Jata for helping her through this was the Birr Gambia show with me until we come you again tomorrow with another amazing person in our studios. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
soo bëggee jot xaalis bàyyeekoo UK Europe USA Canada Switzerland ak àddina wërngal képp Supersonix Money Transfer ñu ngi ci ànd ak yéen ak yónneekaay xaalis bu gën a màgg ci Gambia mën nga jot xaalis fépp fi nga ne bàyyeekoo kaatong ba koy na te doo ci am benn jafe-jafe waaw mën nga jot xaalis bàyyeekoo ci sa ay mbokka ak am di jàmma nekk ci UK Europe US Canada Switzerland ak àddina wërngal képp ak suñu yónneekaay xaalis bu màgg bi nga xam ne dafa wóor gaaw te noppale fii si biir Gambia Supersonix Money Transfer ñu ngi ci ñetti fukk ak ñeent dëkk si biir Afrika ngir jox leen melowaay yu gën si jotum xaalis bi nga xam ne kenn du ko laam-laamee saytu leen ñu si Google Play Store wala App Store ngir mun a bindu si suñ app bi di Supersonix Money Transfer app ndax ngeen mun a bànneexu si suñ money transfer services yi ay mbégte rek la ak Supersonix.
Montata famo million jama wala lenyim pengota coronavirus musasa sotoringansi andin amala nyimu keleti wala nyimu musuleti aman sibo nyoto mo wini jama fata findu banko kan wala lenyin sasa soto andin ay fale coronavirus man jaral soto bari fanan akibar dima mumunti ay pengu soto le
askan wi génn leen ñu pengu jee fagar lu moo gan fa jooyaay mooy lu ñuy aar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bëgg waxtaan ak yéen ci gan bu ñu fi amoon ñu koy wax coronavirus gan la bu ñu sàppi lool waaye tenaa ñibbi te yàqal nañu lu bare bàyyi leen xel fàttaliku atum 2020 yàqal nañuy liggéey yàqal ñu jaamu yàlla yàqal ñu itam sax xew ci ñi nga xam ne bëgg nañ di bànneexu ci ay xew coronavirus waraloon na ñi tëj jàkk yeeg jumaa yi seetloo sax ne jullik feet dañ ko daan jullee ci sunuy biir néeg ñu nu neen ak sunuy famille tere woon nañu itam def suñ juróomeelu ponk muy aj màkk xataa yeneen diine yi sax tere na leen seeni jaamu wala seeni jëf te nag mbokk yi feeg génnu fi rek kenn muccagut kon nag fagaru moo gën faj te gis ngeen yaa ayyuha alladina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum naaran yemul rek àlaxira ndax jàmm mu ngi dooree ci wér-gu-yaram ku amul wér-gu-yaram sa soxla yépp wér rekk lay doon yàlla bay sa tool te ndimbal na ci fekk loxol borom mbokk yi nañu àndandoo xeex joxante loxo ci xel ak ci xelaat ak ci manko ndax ñu daan coronavirus.
askan wi génn leen ñu pengu jee fagar lu moo gan fa jooyaay mooy li ñuy aar.
bukan waringe si million so jupae kungangar ama pikireti coronavirus kwa kaka sumut kan manje bajuta nine bajuta lifa bajuta nine bajuta stek kaka ko sumut kan manje bukana tuku gore barni baj ke bare sumu yene tere gudi ko sumut kati coronavirus tate ten tembe nyaaji baj pikireti ko nem vacciner manje annonce na warna pour mana janga yo bangol tanka fanga fa ko sumut kati covid-19